Hello and welcome. My name is Ian Pelham Turner.
And I'm Helena Chard.
And together we are Celebrate Great Britain news show. Hello and welcome to our new Celebrate Great Britain news show with me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And me, Helena Chard.
So now we're going to really, first of all, thank most gratefully Sky 585, Love World Television and Wilma Esimarco for all the help and support. They are putting this show out to 1 billion audience across the world as part of their corporate responsibility packaging. So we wish to thank them so much because they do so much great work for the community in Britain, and they are being really helpful in being able to put out this show across the world. And I think now we have our new guest.
We have our special guest, and because we like to talk about tourism on Celebrate Great Britain, we have Simon MacDonald. Welcome, Simon. Simon is our Scotland correspondent. So lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. So
it's lovely to be with you.
To begin with, what are the main things that you see in Scotland? Tell us about Scottish tourism.
We've had a fantastic season this year. We've been blessed with some extraordinarily good weather, slightly unnatural here. The sun has shined just about every single day, except for today, I hasten to add. But we had lots and lots of people visiting. It's been one of these phases we've been going through where people are now, rather than travelling abroad, they're exploring their own backyard, which they haven't done before. And all the tourists I've spoken to are absolutely blown away with what they've seen. We have the most magnificent scenery, crystal clear waters, magnificent mountains that bow down to the sea, open spaces. It's wild, it's raw, it's untamed, so are most of the people, and fabulous place to visit. Bags of history, culture, heritage. If you like pipe bands, there we go. The pipe bands always raise emotion in people.
That's very interesting. And I know, Simon, that the reality is that you are a major supporter of the Scottish fishery industry as well. So how is that going at the moment? And what is the real values of Scottish smoked salmon, one of my favourite dishes?
Well, I've been a fishy person, I suppose, for the past 40 odd years, without giving away my age completely. Yes, I work very much in the fisheries industry. I've actually been fishing myself, fishing lobsters and langoustine. We've got wonderful, good quality water here, which is producing phenomenal quality fish and shellfish, in particular on the west coast, where I stay. I absolutely love it here. And salmon, we have a lot of salmon farming going on the west coast. In fact, fresh salmon is the UK's biggest food export now, so it's going all over the world. And we're adding value to it. Smoked salmon, I had 30 odd years as a salmon smoker myself, picking up numerous awards along the way. And we used to supply into about 5 royal households and 3 US presidents and Concord and so on and so on and so on. And smoked salmon has been around for many, many years now. And it's an art, it's a craft. It's not just an industry, it's an art and a craft. And there's so many variations. It's like our whiskey. We've got every whiskey you taste is different. Every smoked salmon you taste is different. And Scottish smoked salmon, again, is famous right throughout the world.
Simon, I know that you are a pretty good little cook, or chef, should I say. What's your favourite dish that you like to cook, fish-wise, obviously?
Oh, yeah, where do I start? You say little. This is not quite as little as it used to be.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I mean, I love dishes with salmon. I love cooking with our shellfish. We have, as I say, our langoustine, our lobster, crab, oysters, which are farmed here as well, mussels, scallops, which are being caught wild out of the sea. I mean, we're spoiled for choice. We really are. I mean, the quality is absolutely superb. So I literally eat fish every day. You know, the daily fish fix is a must. And yes, salmon is on the menu tonight. And I'll be doing that very simply in a creamy white wine sauce with lots of dill going through it. And I'll have some mashed potato with it. But when you mash your potato, keep the skins on. All the nutrients, all the vitamins there as well. And it gives a bit of texture. Plenty of butter in it as well, a little bit of cream.
That's delicious. Sounds absolutely
That's
delicious.
fabulous,
And I
isn't
can
it?
see that you have fish every day because you've got this amazing glowing skin. Really?
Seals, is it?
We all need to eat fish every day.
Yes, well, it is. I mean, it's incredibly good for you, and it's full of all the right things. The vitamins and the right oils, omega-3, etc., etc. It's very, very good for you, and full of calcium too. So good for the fingernails.
Well, that is great advice, Simon. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I know you're a great exponent and producer of the best smoked salmon in the world, I would say, first of all. And also, you are a great champion for Scottish tourism. I think Helen would agree.
Absolutely. So lovely for you that you joined us, Simon. Always got so much interesting facts to tell us. Thank you.
So, Simon, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me, and we'd love to see you up here sometime as well. And I can actually show you all these things.
Oh, we'd love it.
We'd love it.
I'm going to be racing there, don't you worry.
Thank you so much, Simon.
Thank you, Simon. See you
care.
soon. Take care.
You too.
And now Helena, in a minute, is going to be talking to, or about, I should say, Julia Lynch, who is the founding director of Global Girl Projects.
So now I'm going to say a few words about the inspiring Julia Lynch. Julia Lynch is the founding director of Global Girl Projects, and she has worked extensively in Great Britain over a period of 20 years, specialising in community development work over here and also internationally. She founded the project in 2013, a not-for-profit organisation, and it is about mobilising young women around the world to create and facilitate social change through community projects. So I think we should go straight into the video, a lovely video.
I had traveled the world. What I saw was that young women in the developing world were not being given the same messages that young women in the developed world were being given. They weren't being told that they had strength as women, and they weren't necessarily being given the tools to do anything about how they felt or what they thought. And so for me, that was the beginning of how Global Girl started to come into fruition. In Nepal, we run an exchange program with full leadership curriculum where we teach them about community development, and then we start to really pinpoint issues.
We can know about each other's culture, their community problem can be known to us and our community problems can be known to them, so it is important for us to be together.
With the help of this Global Girl project, me and my sisters create a strong bond between each other.
I love them.
We spend a good period of time teaching them how to create their own project. They learn the project development process, and we work tirelessly to make sure that each young woman is fully prepared to go home and start her own initiative.
My project is about teenage pregnancy. I believe pregnancy is like a big barrier to a girl's success.
My project is about gender equality. In my community, people are not sending girls to school, and girls are not allowed to talk in loud voice, but boys are allowed to do anything. So I want to change the thought of my community's people.
It's the ripple effect that one girl creates in her community that you and I can never create.
Women power!
Each of them become 500% more confident than they were when they arrived.
I've built up my confidence more, and I'm able to talk to people and interact more with others.
It pushes us forward mentally and physically.
Global Girl has helped me to see what's best in me and what I am capable of.
That transition is so important because what we're asking the girls to do is go home and do something completely different than what's expected of them. And so we have to help them to see how strong they are before we send them back off.
I am mentally good, but I'm physically I'm tired. So me also, I'm tired, I'm happy.
Now we are really strong and confident enough to fight for anything.
When the girls finish their projects, they get an educational grant from us. We have a lot of plans for the future. We launched our first ever online leadership program. We're also doing another exchange program. My goal has always been to expand by another country each year, so we will be fully global.
I would like to thank Global Girl Project for making me a leader, and so that I can do something good for my community and to bring change.
Global Girl Project has changed my future, it's changed my life.
I'm more powerful than I think.
Global Girl Project is like blessing for me.
They leave with this knowledge that those languages and cultures and religions are actually so much more similar to theirs than different.
When I met them first time, I think they are different to me, but they are similar. That's why they are my best friends.
That's so important, not just for them as young women and what they do in their community, but I know that's how we're going to eventually change the world. Because if we all understand that we're the same and we're connected, then we can't hurt each other. We work to create this network of young women who help their peers and their families to know this. And that's how we will create that true change.
It's not only about creating projects, but also creating a huge change in our lives and the lives of our countries. And also inspire girls from around the world to do the same.
Global Girl Project is change.
Positive change, power,
Leadership.
Community, grow power.
World change.
Global Girl Project is me.
We are Global Girls! We will change the world! We Global Girls Project!
Isn't that fabulous? So great, so wonderful to be able to promote these community projects. Thank you, Julia Lynch, and to see that these young girls are being empowered. And obviously, you know, in time it will change the world. So isn't that great?
And it's important that Great Britain really helped to inspire her in the first place. And I know with Sky 585 Love World as well at the same time, the reality is that with 585, with Love World, and people like Will, Ezzy Marco, and Pastor Chris as well, they are all trying to develop these types of issues across the world. Harmony, values, and responsibilities. So I think it's a wonderful thing. But I think now we're going to move on and we're going to come back to one of our specialist subjects, the royal family.
Absolutely. Goodness me. I know that we've got some lovely royal images that I've captured. And we were talking about Buckingham Palace earlier, and it would be lovely to share our experience again. But I think one of the biggest things, and I know that we've been speaking to people about this as well, about what we're going to be doing next year, is the year-long Platinum Jubilee celebrations. That's going to be coming up, but people are planning lots of things. Although it's a year, we actually have a bank holiday period of about 4 days, and each day at the moment there are so many things that have been planned. But it's not just that, it's the community spirit as well. You've got everybody at home, and there's going to be big street parties. We've certainly got things that we've got under our belt at the minute. We'll share with you at some point very soon. But obviously this is to celebrate the Queen's historic reign, 70 years. Can you believe it? 70 years. So it is going to be so special. I think the days, I mean, we can give some snippets of information of what to expect. I mean, each year we know we have the Trooping of the Colour, and true to form, I think on the 2nd of June, which is the second Sunday, I think, we've got the Trooping of the Colour, the Queen's birthday parade, and that's fanfare. We've got soldiers, horses, musicians all coming together for the traditional parade. Thanksgiving at St Paul's, that's always each year happens. We've also have Her Majesty at the Derby, Epsom Downs. One thing that I'm really looking forward to is the Platinum Party at the Palace, Ian. They've got some really great bands that are going to be playing, all Her Majesty the Queen's favourite bands, may I add. And then we also have the big Jubilee lunch, which again is something which is at the Palace, but also everyone individually has their packed lunches and balloons and drinks and festivities. Yeah, it's good fun.
I think it's going to be one of these most wonderful times at the moment. There's a lot of royal heritage. There's a lot of royal history. Pomp and ceremony is what we're going to see in abundance next year. And really, so we are saying to the world via Sky 585, Love World, come to visit London next year, because
Absolutely.
You're going to have the most fabulous year. You are going to see pomp and ceremony, heritage and culture with the royal family like you've never seen before.
Great Britain at its best. It's going to be electric, and we welcome everyone to come and see us in Great Britain.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think we are really looking forward to that. So now we're going to move on, and our next video that we want to show today is with a young man called Lanry Oligarchy, who runs Art Alive, and this is the most incredible project. Lanry doesn't mind saying that at one time he was a drug addict. He's a member of the Nigerian royal family, and through much support created a project a few years ago now called Art Alive that really supports young people, young communities across London who may need that support so they can find their way in life. It was the type of support that he found when he needed it many years ago now, and he has now become one of the major institutions of community support for young people. So now we're going to see his video.
My name is Lanry, and I'm an artist. I've been painting for over 35 years, since when I was young, but now I'm going to be 50 years old, which is a while ago. But I'm very passionate about what I do, about my painting. And I think painting, painting to me is where the only thing I have, because when there was nobody there, this is the only way I can express myself. In fact, I love dancing as well.
Hi, my name is Elijah, and I'm doing some artwork at the moment, and I come here every week to do artwork.
My name is Emma, and I'm volunteering here. I've been volunteering here for a while now, I think about 2 months. sort of more a feel of like community. I think that's the main aim of it. So it's sort of like young people in Soho, sort of being creative, having these workshops to sort of come and like develop their sort of like artistic skills and sort of just develop their interests and sort of like working together. And it is sort of a sense of like sort of bringing people together, sort of to create sort of happy like workspace.
Hi, I'm Angelina. I came to look at this gallery and then I found out there was a ceramic and mosaic class.
Helena, Seeth and myself, Julie, we've been running the mosaic and ceramic workshop. We've mainly been doing mosaic. In week 1, 2 and 3 we did ceramic. And I chose mosaic because of my own passion for it. I love it as a medium. But actually because I knew I was going to set up my own community arts group, I thought mosaic is just an excellent medium to use in a community capacity. So I was over the moon when Arts Alive asked me to run these workshops, because it's following my passion, what I've been doing for years, but I always like to try it out in new contexts.
And I'm so excited. My joy is to see young people change and to be transformed. I think it's a calling and my destiny anyway. And I'm really passionate about that, but my joy is to see young people change in my eyes and see, it's just amazing when you see somebody, you see their beginning and you see them growing. So Arts Fair is such one of my baby, which is So Arts Fair is one of the first ever art fair they will have in Soho. So Arts Fair is going to come alive. It's going to be a wonderful thing. It's going to bring community together. It's going to bring people together. The young people can't wait to display their talent, the drama, the fashion show, the dance. I mean, if you see these young people, they're so excited. They're happy about it. They're waiting, and I don't think their expectation will be denied. So they just come to Soho, come see stuff. Art is the key. We want to bring art to life. That's what we want to do.
And we're thrilled to have James Francis with us, a fabulous double bass player. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And I know that you have had such a creative career already. You are at the Royal College of Music, which is a real achievement, so congratulations there.
Thank you.
But I just want to begin, I mean, obviously you play the double bass, and which I find amazing. I don't think there's that many people that we know anyway that play the double bass. But you also come from a background of being a chorister, performing at Southwark Cathedral, Westminster Abbey as well. But you had a special moment we're very interested in, performing in the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. How did that feel?
Right, yeah, that was a very weird time in my life. I think at that point, it must have been my last year at the Abbey that we performed the Diamond Jubilee, and it was extremely surreal as an event. Just creatively seeing all of this work of different people and artists come together for this one project. So yeah, it was really interesting.
That's so lovely, and obviously we've got the special year next year. I mean, it would be great if you could perform there as well. Can you tell us about being a chorister for people that don't really know too much about it? I mean, obviously it's so prestigious where you've performed, and so it'd be good to know a little bit more, if that's okay.
Right, yeah. I think it changes depending on where you are as a chorister and what you like, the context of how you're performing, but yeah, it's normally you'll rehearse. When I was at the Abbey, we would have 2 rehearsals a day, and then do a service. And for special events, obviously that changes. But yeah, it's this really unique experience of being like inside this world of choral music and a lot of music theory. And yeah, I think that it was very enriching to me in terms of my musical career to just be in that environment and soak in all this musicianship.
Now, James, you're a young man. Presumably you like all types of music. Why on earth are you touting around this huge double bass all the way around London right now, which must weigh a ton in the first place?
Indeed,
What's
yeah.
the love?
I'm not really sure where it comes from, but I feel like I've just always been passionate about it. I started playing in a very weird way. I used to play at a music centre close to where I live. And when I was I must have been 6 years old, whilst I was choosing instruments for my school, my teacher at the time came up to me and asked me whether I wanted to play the double bass. And I said yes. And yeah, it's just been a roller coaster experience from then on out. And just being in that environment of a lot of classical music and also a lot of solo double bass music, of which I don't think a lot of people get exposed to, just was really unique to me in terms of the way the bass sounds and its timbre. And yeah, I just really enjoyed playing classical music, and I think it was worth all the carrying the bass around everywhere.
It begs the question, 6 years old and you're suddenly given something that is about the same height that you are now. How on earth does a 6-year-old play a double bass?
Right, so I don't have the same size double bass as I do now. But yeah, I think when I started I had a 16th size, which is very small compared to the one I have now, but it was big to me at the time when I was 6. And yeah, since then I've just, like every couple years, gone up a size to like an 1/8 or a 1/4. I think currently I'm on a 3/4 size. But yeah, that's kind of how I managed it.
That's so funny. And I think as well, on top of it, you've started producing your own music in some
Indeed,
ways.
yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think it was mainly in lockdown, I wanted to expand just my musical vocabulary. And I love classical music, but in terms of being locked down and not being able to perform in orchestras or chamber music at the time, at least not to the extent we would be able to do normally, I wanted to push my musicianship in another direction whilst still doing classical music. So my older brother, he's a producer, and yeah, he taught me like the very basics, and then I went on my own to go and push myself and see how far I could, go to different genres and also incorporate some of my classical training into my musical production.
And you're going to Cambridge University as well, so you obviously are very, very clever. And obviously a gifted musician as well.
Worked very hard.
What's the thrill about going to Cambridge University as well, do you think?
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting because I think my interests are just spread so far. But yeah, I applied to Cambridge Theology, which surprised a lot of my teachers because they expected me to apply for music. But for me, I wanted the balance of like musical performance and also the passion that I had for theology. And yeah, it was a really unique challenge at the time, preparing for my Cambridge interview and also preparing for my interview for the Royal College and my audition. So yeah, I just wanted to give myself the widest horizon possible.
Can I just ask finally, because you're going to play us out in a minute as well.
Right.
What does playing the double bass mean to you?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. I think to me, it's just been my passion. Like, it's something that at this point, for playing it for so long, has been so integral to to my identity. And yeah, I feel like the double bass to me is now an expression of that identity.
James, thank you very much. You're going to play us out in a minute, but I think we have to say, Helena and I have to say our thank yous and goodbyes right now. So
fabulous show. It was such a great interview as well with James Francis, and I know that we're going to be treated to a spot, I think it's Dittersdorf, that will be coming up.
I'm glad you said that and not me.
Dittersdorf. So I'm really excited because I know how fabulous a player he is, James. So what a great show.
It's been another great show. So can I thank everybody for again appearing on the show. Can I thank again Wilma Ezimarco, Sky 585, Love World Television, to help putting this show out right across the world to a 1 billion audience at the same time. And so it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me. Until next time.
And we will play out with James on the double bass. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.